Okay, guys, just gonna do the review, the handwritten review that I gave you for this trig test. The first set of triangles looks something like this. I have a right angle here. This guy's 24 degrees, and this is 51, I believe. 51 degrees I had here. This is 80 degrees here, and the only side length I have is this one here, which is 6.7. So what you want to do is find little c, which is over here, this part of the second triangle, the non-right angle triangle. I don't have any side lengths here. I need three pieces of information to solve the triangle. I don't have a side length, so I need to go over and solve the side that these two triangles share to get me the third piece of information and then lead to getting little c. So I look at this triangle here, the right angle triangle, and I have 1, 2, 3 pieces of information, and one of them is a side length, so I can solve that. So what I do is I label, I'll redraw this real quick. I label this 6.7, 24 degrees, and this is the angle that I'm interested in. Hypotenuse across from there, opposite of the angle that I'm concerned with, and that's adjacent. This is the one I want. We're going to call this little b here because that was b, that was c, and that was a. So I want hypotenuse. I have adjacent. So SOHCAHTOA says cos of c is equal to hypotenuse over, or adjacent over hypotenuse, which is 6.7 over my hypotenuse, which we have as a little b here. I am then going to cheat here. I have all the answers written down. I look here and so this is a right angle triangle. That's why I'm using SOHCAHTOA. And then I work off this and I figure out that, I believe this one was wrong, but let's stick with this. Anyway, so what I'm looking for is at the bottom here, I swap these guys out. So B is equal to 6.7 cos of C, which was 24 degrees. I should put 24 there. 24 degrees. Throw this in a calculator and you get B is equal to 7.3. So now I know that this is 7.3 on my second triangle. That's 7.3. That's 51. That's 80. This one here I don't know, but I do know that 180 subtract 80 subtract 51 gets me this missing angle here, which turns out to be 49 degrees. So now I have 49 degrees here. I want to get little c here. So what I do is I have little c over sine 49. So across from c is 49. That's the pair, big C. And then here my b pair is 7.3 and sine 80. So that's my b pair. Sine C is sine 49 degrees. That's a 9 degrees. And then I just move that up here. So this times sine 49 divided by sine 80 is C, and it turns out to be 5.6. So that's the first question. The second question is kind of the same sort of thing. The only difference for this one is my first triangle looks like this. So when I go and try to figure out my missing side here, what I have here is side, and this contained angle. That is cosine law. So this becomes cos, and I can work my way through it, and I get that, I think this we called R, and this was 4.4, and this was a right angle like this, and then I'm eventually going to find this angle down here. And what I do is I work it out, and I go 16.3 all or squared plus 16.7 squared minus 2 times 16.3 times 16.7 times cos of 51 degrees gets me r squared. Find that out, hit the root button to get r, 14.2. So this is 14.2 now. Now I have SOHCAHTOA. So this triangle, I'm going to redraw the right triangle. That's 14.2 in length. This is 4.4 in length, and I want to find x. Label from here, hypotenuse, opposite here, and adjacent. In this case, hypotenuse and opposite are the two that I want. That's from sine. So sine of my missing angle, x, I think we had it written as x, is equal to opposite 4.4 over hypotenuse 14.4. Throw that in a calculator. Anytime you need an angle, you have to hit the second function button, or the inverse sine button in this case, and then you get x is equal to 18 degrees. Okay, so that's question number 2. I'm whipping through this, but quite a few questions, and I want to limit the size of this video. The next thing I wanted to do was the ambiguous case, number 8. So number 8 says this was 3, this was 30, this was 5.5, and I think this is C, B, yep, B, C. So anytime you set this up, so this is number 8 from the review sheet, the other sheet, the typed sheet, and you want to find out the two answers. Well, there's that answer, and then there's two triangles. There's that one there, and then there's this one that looks like this, where this is an obtuse angle. And the 3.0 and the 5. stay the same. I think I messed that up. Give me a second. 1 second. Yeah, the only problem I have here is I put the wrong letters. So everything else is fine. I just want to make this 3, and that is then B and B and C and C. So that's not right. So the other case is this. So this one comes over like that, and this is 5.5, and this is 3.0, and this remains at 30. So this short arm can swing over and make 2 separate triangles. Okay, so go back and check your ambiguous case question from homework. What you want to do is figure out this angle, and it's pretty straightforward. This is just sine C over little c is equal to sine B over little b. I have my pair here, so that becomes sine 30 degrees over 3.0 is equal to, and here I have my side length of 5.5. I don't know what sine, I don't know what big C is. So again, if I set this up properly, I just move one thing, and that's the 5.5 over here. So I go sine 30 times 5.5 divided by 3.0 or 3, and it gets its second function sine or inverse sine button to get the C value. C is in this case, what was it, 66 degrees, I would think, 66 degrees. And then I just want the second answer, and it's straightforward. Using cast law, I have one answer in the first quadrant and one answer in the second quadrant. My first quadrant answer is 66 degrees. My second quadrant answer is 180 minus 66 degrees, which is 114 degrees. So that's your second answer. So after you do the sine law to get your basic answer, take it, subtract it from 180, and you get your second answer in the second quadrant. Okay, so that's the ambiguous case. Then we're going to whip through a couple of these questions here. Back to the handwritten sheet. Tell me what these are. Sine 120. The next one is sine 225, and the last one is tan 120. So it works this way. You want to know what quadrant I'm in. So that's quadrant. And then based on that, what's the sine in the quadrant? And then find the related angle. And then find the value of the related angle. And then change the sign if needed. Okay, that's if needed. So let's change my color here. Let's go red. So 120 is in quad. So remember, so here's cast law. I'm going to need this. 120 is in the second quadrant. It's between 90 and 180. So I'm in Q2. Quadrant 2 for sine. Quadrant 2 for sine is positive, right? Quadrant 1, quadrant 2, it's going to be positive here. Related angle, I go 180 minus theta is equal to 120. So 120 was an angle that I have. I want to figure out what the related angle in the first quadrant is. And that's theta is equal to 60. Grab your table and check it out. What's sine? So value of related angle. So sine 60 is, so I wanted sine 120. I'm not going to get sine 120 right away. I get sine of the related angle, which is 60. Sine 60 here is root 3 over 2. Root 3 over 2. Change the sign if needed, but if I'm in quadrant 2, I don't need to change the sign. So sine 120 is also root 3 over 2. Okay, so that's for the first one. Then I'm going to get the sine of 225. Again, is that what I said? That's kind of weird. So sine of 225, let's do that in green. 225, what quadrant? That's in here. Okay, so Q3, bigger than 180, smaller than 270. In Q3, sine is not positive, only tan is, so I'm negative in Q3. Related angle, 225 plus theta is equal to 180. So that's not right. Got that backwards. Let's go back here. 180 plus theta, 180. It's a 1 plus theta is 225. What's theta? 45. It has to be 45, 30, or 65 because that's the only thing we have on the table. 45 degrees, let's check it out, of sine. Sine 45 is what I look up on my table. Sine 45 is 1 over root 2. And then sine 225 is negative this, negative 1 over root 2. Okay, so that's the size of it, and that's the sine of it. Okay, let's move on to the last one, tan 120. You can pause me. I know I'm whipping through this, but I'm trying to get this under 15 minutes because that's all I paid for. And I didn't pay anything for this software, but I get 15 minutes for free. And I only want to make one video. Let's go yellow. I don't know if you can see that, but 120, again, that is in Q2. Yellow's not working. I'm in Q2. Q2, but tan in Q2 is negative. Okay, so I'm negative. Related angle, again, 180 minus theta is 120. Theta is 60. So now I'm going to find the tan, because I want tan of 60. Get your table. Tan of 60 is what? Is that 1? No, it's root 3. And tan of 120 is root 3. Oh, root 3, but it's negative. So negative root 3. This guy said negative. Cast law says negative, and that's that. Okay, next. Again, pause, go back if you need, if need be. So next up, on your review sheet, what do I have next? Find it here. So flip to the back. I want to get, oh yeah, these are all the same. So I want to get secant. So this one here, you know what, let's do, so I want secant. This is number 5 from your review sheet. So secant theta is equal to 2. If secant theta is equal to 2, I'm not going to answer that question. What I'm going to answer is secant goes with cosine. So cosine theta is 1 over 2, which is 0.5. So check your, and this part here, anytime you have a whole number like that, what you're going to do, or something like 0.5, anything that looks like it's something that could be on the table, or 1/2, for example, you're going to check your table here. So cosine of 1/2, cosine of 1/2 takes place when theta is equal to 60. Which is great, but there's 2 answers here. I should have done this earlier. I look at the cast law and I say that cosine, secant is positive, cosine is positive. When is cosine positive? It's positive in Q1 and Q4. So my answers are in Q1 and Q4. My Q1 answer is 60, and my Q4 answer is using that related angle little, this thing here, theta, 180 minus theta, 180 plus theta, and 360 minus theta. To get here, I have to go 360 minus theta, which is 60. So the other angle is 300. So I have secant theta is equal to 2 when cos theta is equal to 1/2. That takes place at 60, and it also takes place at 300. The next one was on that sheet. Let me just see what the next one is on that sheet. I believe what I asked you next, I think it's a negative one. Cos theta. So again, we're with cos, and in this case, I have negative root 3 over 2. So again, let's look at cast law. If it's positive in these quadrants, it's negative in these quadrants, and I want the negative answer. Okay. So when is cos theta equal to that? It's in quadrant 2 and quadrant 3. I don't have any of these numbers in with negatives in my table, but I do have cos theta equal to plus root 3 over 2. So grab your table, take a look at what that is. So cos theta is equal to plus root 3 over 2 when cos is equal to, when theta is equal to 30 degrees. So in quadrant 2 and then quadrant 3, you go 180 minus theta to get the related angle, 180 plus theta to get the related angle. That's 150 when you subtract 30. When you add 30, it's 210. Okay, so again, use your table to help you, and then figure out what quadrant you're in. Actually, first figure out what quadrant you're in cast law, and then get the help from the table. Now, I'm almost out of time here, but let me just whip through this last couple. I have this, what did I have? The last 2 on that sheet were what? Sine theta is equal to 0.1997. So now you have a number that doesn't look like a root 3 over 2 and that sort of thing. When you have a question like this, what you're going to do is just use your calculator. So let's figure out, first of all, what quadrant you're in. It's positive, so we're in quadrant 1 and quadrant 2. I throw inverse sine of this into my calculator, and I find out that sine theta is equal to that 0.1997 when theta is 12 degrees. So put that into your calculator, second function sine, and get 12 degrees. That's your Q1 answer. So I said Q1 and Q2 are my quadrants. Q1 is 12, Q2 is 180, subtract 12, 168. The final one, I have 48 seconds. Can I get it off here? Woo. Pressure's on. Cotangent is equal to 0.5146. I won't answer that. I'll answer this. Tangent theta is equal to 1 over this. So throw that in the calculator. 1 divided by 0.41546. It's second function tan. And when you do that, you find out that your answer is 63 degrees. Ask yourself this: when is cotangent positive, or when is tangent positive? Cotangent is positive when tangent is positive. Same thing. That's in 1 and 3. I got to go to Q3 as time runs out. I'm down to 11 seconds. 180 minus theta. Can I get this in on time? 180 subtract 63. But it's Q3. I messed up. Plus 63. 243.